Welcome
to Shamba Shape Up Uganda.
We are traveling all over Uganda to find hardworking farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need
to make their farms more productive and adapt to climate change.
We want to support them to get better yields and increase their income.
We will see how farmers can benefit from our experts' advice and turn their farms around into a profitable business,
while learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experience
on the Shamba Shape Up Uganda.
Put it up. This 5-acre Shamba, tucked away in Nabwigulu village in Kamuli district, is managed by 25-year-old Lydia Namulondo, working alongside her family.
She lives here with her father, mother, siblings, nieces and nephews. Lydia is also a mom to 4-year-old Stella, and just 3 days before we came to visit her, she welcomed baby Anne.
Lydia now is managing the Shamba, and with it, its many problems. You know, farming is viewed by many people as an old man's profession.
That's exactly what I used to think.
But our young farmer Lydia family believes that it is an excellent job opportunity for the young people too.
Do you know that actually Lydia trained as a teacher and transferred all these skills into farming?
Lydia inherited the Shamba, and with it, its many problems.
And that's where we come in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you grow on the farm?
You grow coffee, cocoa, grow banana, potato.
So he doesn't do things alone. For us, we work together as we are here.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What challenges or problems have you faced in the banana plantation?
The first one is the ripening of the banana before getting ready. Then there is this one of the leaves, they dry.
So Lydia,
yes.
You also mentioned that you have coffee.
Yes.
Did you have any challenges?
Yes, we have. There is that one which makes the coffee to dry when it's not ready. Then another thing is the fertilizer
For the soil?
of the soil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lydia really does need some good advice. She's young and willing to learn.
Let's start with her banana crop, which is in such a terrible state. We've called in Dr. Godfrey Seruru, a crop scientist from Naro, to give Lydia some much-needed advice.
The leaves drying, the banana ripening when it's not ready. And the quality of the banana, please. The bunch.
The bunch size.
It is big like me. I can even eat this one and finish it. And I still ask for another one.
Doctor, what can you tell us about this?
This is a black sigatoka, which attacks the banana plant and causes premature drying of the leaves. The drying starts from the edges and moves towards the mid of the leaf. And once the drying happens, it means the plant will not be able to make enough food to fill the fingers. So it will lead to very small bunches. It could be 2 reasons. One, that sigatoka killed the leaves, or the nutrient levels were so low. You know, poor soil fertility not only leads to a small bunch, but it also leads to spreading of this disease. You are lucky that we did a soil test to find out what is the cause.
Doctor, what is a soil test?
Soil test is where we pick the soil samples from a particular field, take it to the lab, and determine the level of nutrients available. But the 3 most common nutrients for our crops are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Once one of those is missing, you are likely to have a big problem like what we are seeing here. Let me start with the pH. pH is the level of acidity of the soil. So every plant has what we call an optimum pH. Where it performs very well.
Very well, okay.
Now for the pH for the banana should be between 5.6 to 7. But what you have here is 5.29. That means the pH is lower than what we need for banana. Once it's very low, it means these other nutrients may be fixed and the plant cannot take them up. Nitrogen, here it shows that you have a very low level of nitrogen. That's 9.6 parts per million. It's that nitrogen that gives that vegetative growth, vigor, strong, gives the leaves that dark green color. And the dark green color is what's used in the making of the food. Phosphorus, there is no phosphorus. The phosphorus which is available cannot be detected in our testing system. And the advantages of phosphorus, root development. And it also helps to give the stem that strength to become strong so that it can't easily break. Potassium is very low. The potassium helps in flowering. It means Lydia must apply fertilizers or manure. But which ones are you going to apply? The easiest, if you have animals, like the dung would be the first thing that you apply. Its effects in the soil remain for quite a long time. But if you have no access to manure, then there are other things you can do. You use the inorganic fertilizer. We want an inorganic fertilizer that has phosphorus and nitrogen. You can use DAP, diammonium phosphate. It has 46% phosphorus and 18% nitrogen. So that way, if you use it at planting, it will give you very good results. And as the crop grows, then you can give any peak care. But now, when it is time for flowering, at that stage we need more of the potassium because it's the one which is useful at. So the fertilizer with a lot of potassium is called MOP, or muriate of potash, will help you at that stage of flowering and fruiting. Then she talked about premature ripening of the banana. That is a disease we call banana bacterial wilt. It causes random ripening. For the banana bacterial wilt, you manage it from planting by getting healthy planting materials, banana suckers. So you get the planting material from a disease-free plantation. After planting, you have to do management practices. For example, when it puts on a fruit like this, you break off that male bud. The male bud is normally visited by the bees. In case they visit one which is infected, the bees can spread. So the male bud should be broken immediately the last cluster comes out.
Dr. Seruwu went on to show us how to break off the male bud.
This is how you place the forked stick and turn until you break.
And you at home, if you want more information about what the doctor said, get in touch with us at Shamba Shape Up, Uganda. Doctor, there were some holes that I think Lydia dug. Can we go look at them?
Okay, let's. Yeah, Lydia, is this how you dig the banana hole? Oh, we have work to do. We need to do it right. You see it's slanting and becoming small at the bottom. That reduces the volume where the roots will be getting their nutrients. The hole should be square. We need to make it 3 feet on one side, 3 feet on the other side, and 2 feet down, so that the roots can spread.
Lydia has now learned how to plant bananas correctly, thanks to our expert Dr. Godfrey.
In the meantime, we've asked Andrew Magombe, an agronomist officer at Cafe Africa, to pop by to advise Lydia on their coffee plantation.
These are signs of a disease called red blister disease. And it affects the berries. Some may drop off prematurely, but those that stay may finally affect the quality after harvest. But most important, for you to control disease or pest effectively, you need to know the cause. Whenever you see this disease, the first point is that the nutrition aspect is not good. The soil fertility, there's something lacking. So when the nutrients are not enough, the plant becomes weak and this fungal disease sets in. The second one is the nutrients are being taken away by these excessive growths that are not required. They are all sucking the nutrients. So the plant is left weak, and any disease that comes in, like this weak fungal disease, it affects it. These ones are supposed to be removed. They're not going to bear any fruit. So these ones, you can use the segatua or disinfect our tools in spirit to avoid the possible risk of spreading coffee root disease. But where it is flowering and the fruits are on like here, the segatua may destroy. So you carefully hold it and turn and it will break off. Just gently. And maybe the third is too much shade and the dampness caused by that shady conditions. They favor the fungus to multiply.
Lydia,
Yes.
what happened to this tree? Why is it so down here?
I just got it like this, so I don't know what happened.
Andrew, what do you think caused this?
Now what causes that is the weak stem. And we need to know what causes the weakening of the stems. One is not having enough balanced light during the growth of the stem. So when the stem doesn't receive enough balanced light, it keeps growing longer and longer, looking for light. So that is one of the biggest causes of the breaking of the trees when they are bearing. First and immediate solution you do is to get this tree, lift it off the ground, and get a forked tree to support it, so that the berries that are on can ripen or complete their maturity. So now our tree is off the ground and can continue bearing like other trees, and that's what we do in Shamba Shape Up. One of the key management practices to apply on your coffee is to make sure that the coffee plant gets adequate and balanced light. This helps to ensure that the tree stem becomes firm enough to support a heavy future yield. If you don't do it, the tree will grow long internodes, which are weak, and this eventually leads to falling or breaking of the tree during the bearing phase. So how do we do it? We do it by opening up the tree canopy so that there's enough light like
At
that.
what stage do we do this?
Opening up of the tree, you have to do it at various stages, like at about 2 feet high. You start training it, opening it up. Then when it grows and it's like about 1 year, you also try to open it up. And still when it is big, you observe and see that if it is growing in a closed way, you also open it up. So this practice is very, very important in that it also helps to control pests and diseases, because you'll be denying the pests and diseases where to hide and multiply. Yep. Okay, this is now done, and you can see that light can easily penetrate through.
Remember to boost the nutrition of your coffee by regularly applying manure or the recommended fertilizers.
Lydia has learned so much from the experts on how to shape up their shamba, and it's great to see her putting it all into practice. But there's another thing I really think will help them, especially with the kitchen. It's a new day and new problems to fix. Young Lydia is just about managing to run this shamba, but there's still room for improvement.
She's been taught the best way to plant and take care of her coffee crop.
And Dr. Godfrey Seruwu, a banana expert, has told her what's needed to start up a successful banana plantation. Lydia and her family grow many different crops on their shamba and make some extra cash by selling the surplus in the local market. But unfortunately, not all their crops are thriving. So we've called upon Lovinson Ngisa, a crop specialist from Narrow, to introduce them to a new sweet potato variety.
What variety is this one of sweet potatoes that you planted?
My dear, I will not say that this and this, but what I get is what I plant.
What about the yield? How does it yield?
Not well, that's what I can tell.
But have you ever heard of improved sweet potato varieties?
No.
What is improved sweet potato?
These are varieties which are orange fresh. And when I talk of orange fresh, it means that they have bred vitamin A in them, which is very good for our eyesight. And the orange fresh sweet potatoes are very early maturing. They take just 4 months. You start harvesting and eating. They're even high yielding. They're also tolerant to diseases and pests. This one is called Nasepot 8. So this is how it looks like, the orange fresh. And it is this orange color that gives it the name orange fresh sweet potatoes. This means it has vitamin A.
You've insisted on vitamin A.
Yes.
How important is it for Lydia?
It helps us to see well. Eyesight.
Okay.
Vitamin A helps us to have a healthy skin. Vitamin A gives us good growth.
Okay. So Lydia, I think we're ready to plant the orange flesh sweet potato.
Yes.
Madam Lovisa.
Yes.
Can we begin?
But we can't plant it in this same field. We need to carry out crop rotation. We plant in a different field altogether. And then we plant here another crop, like beans or maize. So that the diseases for sweet potatoes do not spread to sweet potatoes. Of course, they not affect the maize.
So Lydia, do you have another piece of land that we can use?
Yes.
Show us the way. Oh, Caris! Thank you, well done. So Lydia, is this the plot of land?
Yeah, this is the field where we are going to plant our potatoes.
Yes,
Now-
well prepared.
Lydia,
Yeah.
Yes.
you go have a seat.
Yeah.
You're still fragile. So,
So we are measuring 1 meter from one line to another line.
for planting, mark out 1 meter from one line to another and then another 1 meter from one mold to the next. Dig by bringing the soil together like this.
We plant 3 vines. The vine is supposed to be 1 foot long. If it is long, you reduce like this. So 3 of them is meant for this one. You plant like this.
It is important to use fresh, clean planting material to get better yields. You can also get new varieties of orange flesh sweet potato which are tastier and healthier. Remember to rotate your orange flesh sweet potato plot every season to avoid pest and disease buildups. Good quality roots get better prices in the market. Eating orange flesh sweet potato roots gives you vitamin A, which is very good for your eyes, skin, and health, especially for young children and mothers.
Lydia comes from a big family, and meal times usually take a long time to prepare food for everybody. And seeing how busy she is with the Shamba and a new baby, we thought we could find a solution for her.
What do you usually cook, like on a normal day?
Potatoes, matoke, pumpkins, rice.
And how much time would it take you to prepare something like this?
2 hours.
Sure.
Rice, 1 hour.
You're cooking rice for 1 hour. What are you using to cook?
For us, we use firewood.
In terms of money, how much firewood would you need to cook something like this?
We can use the one for 10,000.
The smoke.
Yeah.
Does it disturb you?
It disturbs. You feel headache.
We have invited Victoria Comhand to help us with our cooking mission.
Wow, you're welcome.
Thank you. So there is this gadget here. It is an electric pressure cooker. It uses electricity. So it is energy saving. It doesn't use a lot of electricity. It is very safe and it is fast. You don't need to spend hours and hours using this. The electricity it uses is far, far less than the cost of charcoal, even firewood. And while you are cooking, you can go and do other things. You do not need to keep here watching. No, we set the time and then it is automatic. When that time is up, it goes to warm mode, which is very, very low power mode.
So, Victoria, walk us through this appliance.
So, this is the cover. This is the silicone ring. You can remove it actually and
wash it.
Wash it, okay?
Okay.
This is the inner pot where you put the food to cook. So it shows you the maximum and the minimum levels when you're cooking. Your food shouldn't exceed this marking, and also it shouldn't be below These ones, it's for boiling rice. It also comes with this measuring cup. You also have to follow these numbers here.
Okay.
And then this is the outer pot. The heat comes from here, and no water should ever go there.
Why shouldn't water go inside here?
The water and electricity naturally don't mix. It will cause short circuits. Yeah. Just make sure water doesn't get in this other one. You cannot wash, you just wipe using a cloth. But this one you can wash with a soft sponge, no steel wire, no nothing. This will get off. And the food will start burning.
I'm seeing a spoon.
Like I said, you do not use a thing that scratches this. Even when you are serving food or cooking, you either use this or wooden. Do not use the metallic. It will scratch and get off this, they call it a non-stick coating. And then when you put food in, maybe like your rice or what, it will burn. So this inner pot sits here. Yes, and there is good insulation. It keeps in the heat. That's what makes it very energy saving.
Okay.
Yes, we have the control panel here where you set the time, wait for the pressure to build up, and then the timer starts counting down. When you cover, you rotate it like this, and then you close here to indicate that this is going to be a pressure cooker. If you don't close properly here, it will be like a normal saucepan. And when the pressure becomes high enough, it pushes up this pin inside and seals. Okay, and once that happens, you cannot open this cover.
Doesn't it become hot? Because she has children at home.
It will just be warm.
How does it operate?
It comes with this cable. You plug it in usually at the back. Make sure it's firm, and when you put it in the socket, there should be a light here. Yeah, it is telling you it is ready. For example, we are going to steam matoke. It takes roughly 30 to 35 minutes. If you are okay with that time, it is okay. If you are not okay, you press here twice to change. There are different sizes. This the smaller one, 6 liters and 8 liters, depending on how much food you are going to cook with.
Okay, so what are we preparing?
Sweet potatoes, pumpkins.
Good
and
idea.
then we can do the matoke and the rice in there.
Okay.
If you're cooking for a large family, you can save time by cooking 2 dishes at the same time in an electric pressure cooker and with large electric pressure cookers. For our case, we will use 1 6-liter and an 8-liter. You can experiment good different dishes at the same time, like sweet potatoes, pumpkins and yams in 1 electric pressure cooker, and then matoke and rice on the other pot. This will be ready in 40 minutes. Wonderful! The electric pressure cooker has preset functions, and you can select the food you want to cook. It works on the principles of pressure. Once the pressure builds up, it's the one that cooks the food quickly. It's well insulated. That means the heat inside does not escape outside. So, Victoria, show us.
Just so you see, it cannot open because it's still under pressure. So we first have to carefully release, but you are going to see.
Lydia, here we have our dishes that we cooked in 35 minutes. But before I even say anything else, what do you think?
I'm just yearning to taste.
Very good. Because of Victoria's effort, this is very cost effective. It is safe. It is fast. So imagine this would have taken you a whole day to cook all this. But here we are. You're welcome to test.
Can we call your family?
Yeah.
Good. Then also, which hand you used to write?
The one I used, right?
Yes, left or right?
The right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Lydia,
Yes.
stretch your right hand, touch the other pot. That is yours.
I'm So happy. Thank you very
yes.
much.
Yes. As we have seen, by becoming a more efficient and productive farmer, you will have learned how to adapt to climate change and be a better, richer, and healthier farmer.
Thank you so much for having us, and this is all we had for you on this episode.
Tune in next week on
Shamba Shepherd Uganda!
Thank you.